Ahoy, Pancasters! I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And this is That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly dose of Star Wars, Marvel and DC news, all wrapped up in a lovely little ball.
Like a speech bubble.
Yeah!
If you like.
If you like.
So, how have you been?
It's been good. How have you been?
Well, yeah, alright.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay, are we going to hit with Marvel?
Hit me?
I'll just hit you
Yeah.
with some Marvel news straight away.
Right, so, Marvel news. Director Tim Miller has departed from Deadpool 2 due to creative differences with star Ryan Reynolds. Now, the two had worked together tirelessly to get the first film made, and credit must be given to them for the success of that movie, which I think caught everybody off guard with how successful it truly was. Now, of course, they worked together to do the test footage, which hit YouTube and other media outlets and things like that to show what they could do, and I think that inspired the movie to become big. Fox took a punt and made it a R-rated and a strong hard R.
Indeed, it was
R-rated,
hard R,
which I think is the first superhero movie to be a hard R. I mean, there's been Blade, I suppose, which is Marvel, but
yeah, I think that was the first one.
Yeah, but
it was the first one that actually worked as an R-rated movie, wasn't it? But it worked in every way. Didn't it? It was lightning in a bottle. It worked exactly how it surprised everybody as well, but it was fresh. It did exactly what it needed to do for the superhero genre in making it. It just gave it that injection of freshness that it needed.
Well, it also within the, like you said, within the whole superhero genre, and it means now that it's shown people that they're not to be scared to do an R-rated comic book movie, because there are adults out there. There is a market for adults out there to watch, and it's nice to see that. Obviously, we did the reaction video for Logan, the new Wolverine movie, and that's obviously an R-rated movie, and it showed people that it's fine to not be scared to do it, to show studios, I should say. So anyway, Tim Miller leaving Deadpool 2. Will it change the tone of the film, do you think? Will it change
Well,
things?
I think it depends on who they get to replace him. Ryan Reynolds is obviously the main man at Deadpool now. I think he has been. He's been the guy that's championed Deadpool right from the start. He's been the guy that's wanted to make Deadpool and wanted to make it in a certain way. It only depends on who they get. Now, the only problem they've got is it has to be somebody that is going to get on with Ryan Reynolds. That you can't have somebody that's going to go in with a singular vision, because Ryan Reynolds obviously has this vision. It has to be someone that's going to work with the vision of Ryan Reynolds. So if they can find somebody, they're going to find somebody. It's going to be interesting to see. It needs to be someone that's going to fit with that style. I heard on the internet today that the reason that they sort of were at loggerheads was because Tim Miller wanted to take it more of a serious route, as it like maybe sort of the way that Logan is, more of a character study kind of thing, whereas now obviously the way that they've done it and the way that Ryan Reynolds wants to do it is the more comedic, which I think is what Deadpool is.
Well, if you look at the comic books, it is literally a sort of like breaking the fourth wall, like the movie was. That literally is what Deadpool is in the comics, and it is got that comedic role or element through it. It can be very violent and very bloody in the comic book and quite graphic, but it still has the element of comedy and funny things in there. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't change anything. It just depends on who they get, as the new director. Who would you like to see?
I've got two, and I will say that I heard these on the internet this morning, so they're not my ideas, but I think they're good ideas, and that would be Matthew Vaughn or Edgar Wright.
Right. Both would be great. Yeah, both would be great directors. I can't see either of them doing it. I mean, Matthew Vaughn's done a Fox Marvel film. He did the X-Men First Class. He's now got his own sort of comic book franchise. I mean, The Kingsman and Kingsman 2, which will be coming up, both done by him. He directed the first Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah.
He didn't do the second Kick-Ass, but so I can't see him doing that. Edgar Wright, will he work on another Marvel film and do that?
I don't know. It's not Marvel, is it? It's Fox Marvel, and I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting whoever they get.
I mean, I would Peyton Reed would be a good one. I know he's already done another Marvel film. My argument goes out the window, but what he did on the Ant-Man was really good, and what he brought to that. Some people have come back and say, well, yeah, but Edgar Wright thought of it. No, he had a tough job because he had to step in and do a film that Edgar Wright had set up to make his own.
Yeah, I mean, would he want to go through and do that same kind of thing again?
I don't know, but that style of director is what I mean,
Yeah.
rather than just him. But somebody like Peyton Reed, somebody like Matthew Vaughn would be brilliant for Deadpool.
Okay, what's next?
Right, Forrest Whittaker has joined the cast for the upcoming 2018 Marvel movie Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Black Panther, indeed. The Oscar-winning actor will be joining Chadwick Boseman in the role of Zuri, an elder statesman in Wakanda. The movie is being directed by Ryan Coogler.
Coogler.
All right. You say Coogler, I say Coogler.
Okay.
You know?
That's fine. Carry on.
Either or other works.
Either or other.
He directed Creed, obviously.
He did.
And Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, both really good films. So it looks promising with a director like him on board.
You can't go wrong if they're going to add great talent to movies.
No.
It's the one thing that Marvel never ceased to amaze me with how they do. I mean, I think the thing is now that everybody wants to be involved in Marvel movies. And they're I mean, look at Doctor Strange. Look at the talent that they've got on the screen there. Just every movie, they seem to be able to work out exactly how to do. And I don't know anything about Black Panther, as in the story.
No, I mean, we were introduced to him in Civil War, weren't we? And I have to say, he was a highlight of Civil War. I thought his character worked so well. He looked good. He was a great action star. I mean, I'm not fully aware of all his powers, but obviously the suit has a lot to play. I mean, isn't the adamantium that the shield's made of something to do with his suit as well? And
no, it's vibranium.
Vibranium,
and it's Wakanda, where vibranium comes from.
Right.
So I know that much.
Yeah, because you've been to Wakanda. Haven't you?
No, I just read that on the internet.
The internet never lies, kids.
It never lies. No.
Right.
Is that it for Marvel?
Yeah, Marvel.
Okay, so let's go on to Star Wars news. Okay, now I've got to be careful because I keep saying Donald Gleason, which of course is the guy that played Mad-Eye Magoogie, whatever it was in. No, that's Brendan Gleeson, isn't it?
Donald Gleason was in Force.
Donald Gleason, yeah, that's his son. That's his son.
Force
Anyway,
Awakens.
It's not Donald Gleason, so let's forget about that altogether.
We're great with all these names.
We know all these names. It's Donald Glover. He's been confirmed to play super cool pal of Han Solo, Lando Calrissian. In the standalone Star Wars story, he joins Alden Ehrenreich, who will be playing the scoundrel smuggler in directors Chris Miller and Phil Lord's Han Solo movie due in 2018. What do you think?
Well, the pictures of him, I think he looks the part, doesn't he? I think it's... there's history between Han Solo and Lando, don't you? Because of Empire Strikes Back straight away. Was it not Lando that had the Millennium Falcon?
Well,
first?
it's in the canon, if you like. I'm not sure whether in the new canon, but in the canon it was a game of Sabacc that they played that Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon off of Lando Calrissian. And apparently they've said that game is going to be part of the movie.
So there you go. So I think it can only be good. They had a lot of banter. I know Lando sold him out, or you can have all this, but he redeemed himself in Return of the Jedi, did he not?
He did.
And I think there could be some great banter, because you can't imagine a movie, no matter how well Chris Lord and Phil Miller will do directing it, a whole movie where he's going to have that much banter between him and Chewie. Because Han Solo needs banter. He's a cocky space pirate, or whatever you want to call him. Smuggler.
Yeah. But you've got to think that, look at who's writing it. So Lawrence Kasdan and his son, is it Joe Kasdan? Jake. I mean, if there's anybody that needs to write Han Solo's dialogue, it's Lawrence Kasdan, which you saw in Force Awakens. So it doesn't matter who he's going to be talking to. He could have 90 minutes of chatting to Chewie, and it's still going to be fantastic dialogue.
Well, it should be, but I would imagine it'd be wearing a bit thin. So that sort of casting is going to be great to make it bounce, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the directors and seeing what they did.
It's just going to be interesting to see, because, like I say, I mean, we've even made a mock-up of Lando Calrissian for one of the pictures in the section of this, and you can just imagine him with his hair slightly greased down, little pencil moustache, and there he is. He is a young Lando, and I think he'll work well. It still is whether Alden Ehrenreich can pull off being Harrison Ford.
You've got to have a bit of faith in their cast.
I've got absolute faith that, when you see it.
I also think this movie is going to have a lot of comedy effect.
I think it will. I think it is going to be more.
That'll be good.
I think it's going to be more of a comedic turn, if you like.
Yeah.
The second Star Wars news that I have is Rogue One: A Star Wars Story is now less than 50 days away, and if you live in the UK like we do, you have even less time to wait. It's going to be released a full 24 hours before our USA friends. I'm terribly sorry, all of you friends in the USA, but as with The Force Awakens, we get it a whole 24 hours before you do. I'm terribly sorry. What do you think?
Woohoo! I just think great. I mean, don't think it'll change much really, will it, in the grand scheme of things? I don't think it's going to be quite the rush, because I believe tickets go on sale this week, so I don't believe it's going to be the rush that The Force Awakens is. I don't think it's going to make that money that Force Awakens has made.
Are you going to go and watch it
on a midnight show?
On the midnight showing, or are you going to wait until the following day?
It all depends on my work situation and what my rota lets me do. I'm going to have to play it by ear a little bit, I think. So I will see it around that time. Let's put it like that. I want to see it at midnight.
Yeah.
Will I? I don't know. It all depends on that damn thing called work.
I know. Okay, that's it.
So
I was just going to say, for all our USA fans and all people that are watching, let us know in the comments what you think about, will you stay off the internet for those 24 hours so that you don't get any spoilers, or are you cursing all of us British for having it a whole day before you?
But they did it with Force Awakens.
They did it with Force Awakens. Just let us know in the comments what you think.
Absolutely, below.
Yeah.
So, final piece, DC news. So, James Wan has spoken about the standalone Aquaman movie, saying what kind of film it would be. He said, and this is quoting him, "I kind of don't want to give too much away, but know this. The spirit that I am going for is like a classic sort of swashbuckling action-adventure, sort of a high seas adventure story," he revealed. "It's ultimately a quest story in the spirit of Raiders of the Lost Ark meets Romancing the Stone." Thoughts on that as a superhero movie?
Okay, well, when I did see this, and I thought, well, Romancing the Stone is a rip-off of Raiders of the Lost Ark, so...
But with his tongue in its cheek, knowingly, do you not think?
Yeah, but I think even Indiana Jones is knowingly
taking the
mick and tongue-in-cheek. I think it's great, because I think that's what they need to start doing with DC movies. Not every one of them can be dour and emo, and do you know what I mean? It's all.
Well, they need to lighten it up, because whatever you say about Marvel, they do put an element of comedy in there. They
do. Well, yeah, and it's also a lot of the superheroes love being like Tony Stark loves being Iron Man. Do you know what I mean? And you already see that Batman is pained and Superman is pained because
and I never thought of Superman as depressed.
We've never had that before, because Christopher Reeve has always looked like he's loved being Superman.
Why would you not? I don't understand that in that universe. Why would you not love being Superman?
I don't know.
You're pretty much indestructible.
Well, it's like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders because of these powers that they have, whereas Marvel, everyone seems to love having the powers that they have. Maybe not Incredible Hulk. Maybe that's one he feels like he doesn't want to have the powers. But the rest of them...
Well, that's because he's uncontrollable.
Yeah. But anyway, and that Marvel versus DC thing is going to rage on, for infinity.
Of course it is.
But I'm glad that we hear that kind of thing. And you want it to be... The same as I think that Wonder Woman's going to be a bit more of a romp.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like a war movie.
But it's not going to be so serious.
No.
Whereas I think it's also great that, like you say, that's going to be more of a war movie. And then... It looks like Aquaman is going to be more of a swashbuckling...
Good.
The only thing with swashbuckling and obviously the sea, it sounds like it's going to be... Is it a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of...
No, I don't think it's
kind of thing.
Well, I hope not. All I can say is I hope it just lightens the mood and make it, like you say, a good romp. Yeah. That's all you want.
So do you think that it's going to take place under the sea or the whole movie?
No, not at all.
But why not?
I think it would get very...
He's Aquaman.
Don't tell me off.
No, but I'm just saying, if he's Aquaman, surely.
But
what's
from
the
what
point
I've
of
seen,
having him that he's going to be then on
what
dry land?
I've seen him on dry land in the comic bits I've looked at.
Oh, right.
He comes out of the sea. He can control water. It doesn't necessarily have to be under the water.
Okay.
So
I thought that'd be quite cool.
He might buzz around New York in a boat or in a bath full of water.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Firing off.
That isn't going to be throwing rubber ducks at people.
Yeah, it's got a duck,
Oh, you just hit me in the
duck
eye.
cannon. Yeah, squirting like matey at them.
I don't think that'd be fun.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but logistically, that'd be awful to film it underwater the whole.
Well, yeah, but it hasn't got to be underwater, has it?
No, I know look at all of that, but even the look of it.
Yeah, but Finding Nemo is complete
But that's
animation.
cartoon, yeah.
But that's animation, but it looks like it's underwater.
But what I mean is the clips we've seen already, they look like they're underwater. It's realistic. Their hair's going like that. So you're going to have 90 minutes or 100 minutes of this hair going like that constantly, and every time they speak, bubbles coming out.
Well, no, because they could do it like they did in Phantom Menace, where they live is like you walk through a bubble and then it's a normal.
Don't get me wrong. I'd imagine there's going to be a whole slew of scenes that are underwater.
I don't think you're going to like it. Anyway,
Judgmental.
I know. What do you think? Would you like to see the whole Aquaman movie underwater? I would quite happily see that.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see it. I'm just saying it wouldn't happen. I think you'll get distracted by the waving hair. Especially you.
That'd be more sort of longing for the wavy hair, not worried about it.
Yeah, but please let us know any comments on any films that are coming up or have been. Feel free to leave a comment below.
Indeed, and come and subscribe, share the video, come and watch the rest of the videos on our channel. Got anything else you want to say, Neil?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, well, I did put a little shout out for people to give us a little bit of the end, because I needed a sign off, didn't I? I needed a DC sign off. So we're going to do the one from Elle Webster. So may the force be. Oh, God, I'm balls down. May the force of Thor's hammer flash by.
Ooh.